Good evening. These are the stories making the headlines in the Hot 790 news.
The victim of a brazen daylight carjacking by cutlass-wielding bandits speaks about the terrifying ordeal. A local author questions why a book about St. Lucia by a foreign national is being introduced into the national school's curriculum, while local books have been overlooked for years. And Health Minister Mary Isaac fires back at the criticism leveled at her by the CSC. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
It is Thursday, the 15th of November 2018. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. I am Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. A businesswoman is recounting her harrowing ordeal after she was carjacked at gunpoint on Wednesday afternoon. She says the life or death incident has left her traumatized. She spoke with Rochelle Gonzalez.
A woman who narrowly escaped with her life after she was carjacked at gun and knife point Wednesday afternoon has opened up to Hot 7 News about the incident, which has left her traumatized. Choosing to remain anonymous, she explained what happened on the fateful day. She said whilst it felt like a lifetime, the incident lasted for less than 5 minutes.
Well, I was going down the Twapito Hill and I almost approached by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the corner. I stopped to check to get my phone in my bag. When I go this way to check my phone on the passenger seat, time I turn, I just said, "Hey, don't move." And I see a cutlass on the guy. When I ask him, I tell him, "Well, it's so and so I'm going to do. Can he just take what he's taking and tell me no? He will kill me. He will put a gun to my head right away." Then I try and hesitate with him. He insists that I go to the back seat. I said, "I'm not going to the back seat." I try and hesitate until the vehicle was coming, and I jump off the vehicle and I run down for help.
The woman said this incident has taught her a few lessons and implored other motorists to take heed as well.
My thought on that is for us to be more careful, or for us to check our surroundings, and especially we ladies when we're driving, check our surroundings. And
this is surely a traumatizing event. How are you feeling after this?
I'm not feeling good about it at all.
She then went on to give some advice to the police, as well as a few choice words for her assailants.
I think they should be more vigilant, like this, especially this area, to go up and down on this area a little more, because this area, I've heard a lot of story about this area, that, but I've never gone through it myself.
And if you could send a message to the perpetrators themselves, what would you say to them?
Well, if I have to send a message to them, I'll tell them stop that, what they're doing. It's not nice. They have family, they have brothers, they have sisters, they have mothers. They should think twice and try and get a job instead of doing that.
The woman revealed that although her vehicle was discovered a few hours later, abandoned in a banana field opposite the Dayglow landfill, many of her important belongings, including her passport as well as her daughter's passport, her ID card, her driver's license, and her purses with a few $100s in them, were taken. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Thank you, Rochelle. Health Minister Mary Isaac seems unfazed by the criticism she has received from the Civil Service Association, CSC. It's a union that she previously headed as president. Senator Isaac says she found a mess when she came in as minister and has been hard at work to fix it. She believes workers in the healthcare sector are being instigated to create mischief and wants that healthcare must transcend politics.
Senator Mary Isaac was taken to task by Claude Paul of the CSA for what he says has been her dismal performance as health minister. Senator Isaac, in her former role as CSA president, gained a reputation for being a staunch advocate for workers' rights and even earned the title of Iron Lady in some quarters. The CSA has said that it is beyond disappointing to have this same individual overseeing a healthcare sector that is putting the safety of health workers at risk. Senator Isaac says She is aware of the challenges of the sector, but believes there are sinister and political motives at play from those who are leveling criticism.
When I was the president of CSE, the trade union, I always used to say to people, it is not just to look at things from one side. So when a worker comes with a complaint, I would look at both sides of the issue, get the take from the worker as well as from the employer. And in this case, I believe that a lot of people are instigating the workers in the healthcare sector to try and create mischief and problems for the people of St. Lucia. But I want to say that healthcare is about everyone. We have to remember that healthcare must transcend political boundaries. And if you really care about people, especially sick people, you have to try and ensure that the workers in your healthcare sector are well taken care of. And I want to say thank you to the workers in our healthcare sector. I want to let them know that sooner rather than later, they will be working in better conditions.
Senator Isaac also insists that what exists is what she inherited.
When I came on board, when our government came on board after the last general elections, I made it well known that the healthcare sector was in a mess. I found it in a mess, and what we are doing right now is we are taking it along a path that it's supposed to be. So we are looking at national health insurance, where we will be taking care of the people of St. Lucia, healthcare for everyone. We are looking at improving the infrastructure, which was, of course, deteriorating when we came in. All the health centers, all the hospitals were in decay. As you know, in most cases in St. Lucia, we do not maintain the facilities. So right now, the government is starting to maintain a lot of these facilities.
The minister points to a recent US $2 million grant to go towards the development of the primary healthcare sector and the refurbishments of health centers with newly introduced green spaces as signs of the commitment of the government to addressing healthcare challenges.
A concerned local author is asking why a book about St. Lucia, which was written by a foreign national, was allowed to be introduced into the national school's curriculum, while books written by locals have for years been overlooked. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
A book about St. Lucia, which was written by an American author, has caught the attention of locals, but for all the wrong reasons, as it has raised the question, why aren't we good enough? The book, titled The Secret Treasures of St. Lucia, was publicized by a member of the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, who posted a photograph of the book and revealed that they had partnered with Coconut Bay Beach Resorts and Spa, Scholastic, and Virgin Holidays to facilitate its writing. The SLTA representative also revealed that the book, which was written by Sarah Grant, will be available at schools and libraries soon across St. Lucia. Concerned citizen Dawn French, who is also a local author, along with numerous concerned locals, began to question why tout a foreign book to introduce to the children of St. Lucia when there are countless St. Lucian options instead.
I don't have a problem. This is a private enterprise, go forward. Congratulations on getting the book done, having it published as an author to author, fantastic. My questions continue to be, why are certain agencies pushing this? Local writers in St. Lucia for decades have tried to partner with the Ministry of Education to get books into the schools. You will not believe that the history of St. Lucia by Jolene Hampson, Guy Ellis, and Robert DeVoe are not in the schools of St. Lucia. However, we are fast-tracking this into the schools. And I'm asking why? Why are we doing for this book what we are apparently not doing for locals?
The concept of the book, French said, which surrounds a young visitor to the island who was taken around by a local, is one which has been written about in a number of local books. She again questioned why the foreign book is being used as a tool to market St. Lucia over the books written by St. Lucians themselves.
Certain authors have given up. Sad to say that they have tried so much to deal with certain agencies within the system that they've just finally just thrown in the towel and said, okay, they're not interested, fine, I'll just go my merry way, and maybe down the road, a couple of generations from now, somebody else will get into the system, but obviously it's not for me. I myself I'm fast getting to that point. I continue to dialogue, and I want people to understand it's not a political thing. Because I have dialogued with Robert Lewis, who was a Minister of Education under the SLP regime. I have dialogued with Dr. Gail Rigobert, who is the Minister of Education under the UWP regime. And they both agree that, yes, we need to have, a representation of local material in the school curriculum. So I don't know where the clog lies.
French explained that quality is certainly not the issue, as many of the books written are of even better quality than international publications. She said if given the chance, local authors could be part of a major economy booster for the island.
Regardless of which party is in power, the government wants the creative industries to be a contributor to the GDP of this nation. Work with us to make it happen. We are willing. I say all the time, if you give the creative industry of St. Lucia the opportunity, as crazy as it may sound, it will outstrip tourism. In Latin America, a lot of Latin American countries, creative industries is the #1 economic earner. I do not know what it is for Jamaica, but I am sure it is very high. I don't know for Trinidad, but I am sure it is very high. Creative industries is a $1 billion, in some cases $1 trillion industry. If we can get 1% of that, you know what our economy would be like? You have young people, you have raw talent, you have the Denry segment, you have young people who are painting the murals. Let us tap in, work with us. We want to work with you all. All we're asking for is what you're doing for non-locals, do for us too. Let us level the playing field and do for us what you're doing for others.
French invited the Education Department, as well as the other bodies included in the social media post, to visit 758 Books at Valmore, where they will be spoiled for choice with books written by over 200 St. Lucian authors. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
The Senior Communications Officer in the Office of the Prime Minister, Nicole MacDonald, has revealed that all is on course to have the Viewfort horse racing track up and running in time for the island's 40th independence anniversary. She says despite claims that the DSH project was rejected by the CIP unit and Invest St. Lucia, the project and its phases are coming along smoothly. She spoke with Rochelle Gonzalez.
Nicole MacDonald, Senior Communications Officer of the Office of the Prime Minister, has revealed that progress on the racetrack in Viewfort, which forms part of the Desert Star Holding project, is going along as scheduled and is right on track for its inaugural race next year. The track, she said, has been moving along very smoothly and even invited St. Lucians to pay a visit to the site to see just how far the developers have reached towards the completion of the project. MacDonald said the stables have gone up, the tracks have been formed, and the continuous process of the track upkeep is ongoing.
It's a process, it's ongoing. We expect that the horses will be coming to St. Lucia very soon. In fact, there is a DSH team currently in St. Lucia, and they're going to be here for quite some time in order to ensure that the project moves forward very smoothly. We anticipate that we will be on stream for the race in February to actually commemorate our 40th independence celebrations. So this would be a great moment for us that we're finally able to see this racetrack, which people have talked about for so long in the South, finally coming to fruition during our independence activities. So we're definitely pushing forward and looking to see that the track is ready and the race is ready to go for February, as the Prime Minister had announced.
The SCO took the time to respond to news of a letter which was allegedly submitted to Prime Minister Alan Chasney by the CIP unit as well as Invest St. Lucia. Within the letter, it indicates that the mentioned bodies are not comfortable with the terms of the DSH project and therefore rejected funding for it.
I can't speak to any document that I have not verified, that is in the public domain and that has not been issued by the authorities that are actually involved in the process. What I do know is that there are ongoing discussions between DSH and CIP and also Invest St. Lucia in terms of the different phases of this particular project. So I know that the project is moving ahead. Those organizations are involved in ensuring that the project, comes to fruition, that we do what we need to do as a country in terms of due diligence. We will not compromise our due diligence at all. So the process is moving forward. I don't know that any definitive decision has been made by the CIP on DSH.
The DSH team made a presentation to the local business sector on Thursday afternoon with hopes that the community gets involved in the establishment of the first race. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, the Agriculture Minister assures livestock farmers that all is well with the relocation of the abattoir. A local artiste will headline the Dubai edition of this year's Soca on the Seas. And Flow launches its Christmas promotion. Stay with us.